This is Sue Hawk, CEO for Yes and certified EOS implementer.
And I'm Linda Gates. I'm with Gates & Associates. We're landscape architects in California. And we basically, our mission is to help get people outside. And we do that by designing the spaces that are between the building front door and the roadway or the parking lot. And I think we're being completely validated during this COVID crisis about how important it is to get outside.
I think you've done your job well because the whole country, the whole world is listening to that. So how are you? How's your family? How's the team?
It's a roller coaster. I think that some days you feel like, wow, okay, we've got this. And other days you just feel like, whoa, I think it's been about 5 weeks now. So our team is pretty much settled in. Fortunately, we'd started our remote working policies about the month before. Never thought we'd be remote working this much, but at least people were set up with computers to work at home. I mean, everybody but me, of course, right? I hadn't got my act together, but they were all set up. We hadn't worked the kinks out. So we've been having some kinks, but I think we hit the ground running. I have to say, one of the great things was having the structure of the EOS, because we kept doing our level 10 meetings. We kept having that report in sessions. And frankly, for a lot of people that regularly scheduled, the marketing department meets at this time, the L10 meets at this time, the department heads, it gave some structure to something that just got really fluid. And it helped when we had to communicate to the whole office. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've had a few Zoom calls, but sometimes you'd have to communicate more in a hierarchical manner, and to have those structured points to share out information, about, the structure of the company and how you're responding and layoffs and everything else, right? Because that's all part of the process right now. So I have to say, it was interesting how much that structure helped.
Well, I think it's a certainty, or it gives you a little concrete to stand on when it feels like everything else is changing, right?
Yeah, it was something that we were just like, okay, no, we're going to keep holding those regular meetings. It's going to be on Zoom. Thank goodness for Zoom, right? And we're going to keep doing them. And we've altered the structure and stuff like that, but it was, at least we didn't have to put that in place when everything else we were scrambling around. We had our communication channels and our hierarchy of information dissemination in place. That was fabulous.
Good for you. That's fantastic. Is there one specific tool of all the EOS toolbox that helped you more than another?
Well, it's interesting. Once again, the structure of the meetings, that was fabulous. Mm-hmm. Scorecards. Obviously, being able to have that snapshot, and actually then we've been revisiting some of our scorecards because things we used to track, we're tracking a little bit different things now. And so having keeping the scorecards we had, tweaking those, and even starting to monitor some other things that now we have to monitor because we're in remote working situation and we can't check in quite the same way. It's not as easy. Right. So just the ability to create scorecards, manipulate scorecards, tweak something and have it reveal something else. That was a fabulous tool for us to be able to use. And then I have to say, as we've sort of begun to the process of, because even though we were actually pretty well prepared for this, as I said, we had people already set up to do remote working because we'd experienced the 2008 crisis. We have cash on hand. We have a backlog of business. We can keep rolling, but still you start looking at your people analyzer and because you sort of have to create that hierarchy of critical and non-critical, because when something gets revealed in the scorecard, you don't want to debate. You've already got it in place in your movement. So, and we've already used that a couple times with different kinds of people. It's nice to have tools that take a little bit of the personal out of it. Does that you know what I mean? It's still so personal, but something that helps when we're communicating to other people why we're making a decision. There's some data behind it, and a data they're familiar with using. They're like, yeah, you're right. No, this is the right call. So it's been great to have a structure.
Oh, Linda, thank you so much. You guys worked hard through the system, and in a family business, all the more so, because you've got family and business and crisis. So kudos to all of you guys for sticking together, doing the hard work, and being just a shining example through this. I appreciate you.
Sometimes when you have to work harder, you value it more.
Isn't that the truth? Thank you so much.
All right.